Good morning friends, welcome to Raj Malhotra IAS. So guys, here we are about to start the session. The PDF has been uploaded, you can download the PDF. आप जाके PDF डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं. चलिए, so without wasting much time, let's see what exactly is there for us in today's newspaper. Okay, चलिए अभी से हम लोग जो है शुरू करेंगे इस सेशन को. Your voice is low, please increase it. Okay, so Chetu, I'm speaking bit low because I'm not well. Anyways, let's start the session now. As the session will progress, I'll definitely come into my flow. चलिए, तो अभी सेशन शुरू करेंगे. तो as it is written over here, victory always is possible for the person who refuses to stop fighting. This is the most important thing that we need to learn here. Okay, that you have to continue your fight, then only you will be victorious one day. Because sometimes what happens, when there are hurdles around us in our journey, in our path, there are hurdles will definitely come, and at that time you may slow down. There, if you are persistent with your effort, with your hard work, definitely one day victory will be yours, because you need to sustain the fight. That's the most important thing here. The same thing applies to the UPSC journey as well, that you have to continuously put up your effort. It's a competition, it's a competitive exam. Your effort will assure your success. Yes, there will be hurdles, there will be those moments when you might not be able to put up your effort, may not be able to put up your 100%, but continuously those ups and downs will come, but your fight and journey should continue. This is the most important lesson that we learn here. Okay, so let's start the session. Let's see what exactly is there for us in today's newspaper. So there was nothing much. India is going to face England in semi-finals. So if you are cricket fans, so it will be a positive news for you. Now curbs lifted in Delhi as air quality improves. Okay, so this is how it happens. Now Commission for Air Quality Management, it revoked the order that was passed in the past. It says that right now situation has improved, and as situation has improved, we can remove those restrictions. So earlier some of the restrictions were imposed, like non BS6 compliant diesel vehicles, they were not allowed to be on the roads. Okay, right now those restrictions have been removed, and all this action is done under graded response action plan. So what's the graded response action plan? So they have decided certain level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, as the pollution is going to increase, it is going to reach a certain level, that's the stage 4. Okay, say stage 4. Now for stage 4 there are different measures. स्टेज 4 के लिए अलग से मेजर होंगे, स्टेज 2 के पोल्यूशन के लिए अलग से मेजर होंगे. सो दिस इज हाउ दिस इज ग्रेडेड रिस्पॉन्स एक्शन प्लान. As the pollution increases in Delhi, restrictions will be imposed. As the pollution goes down, restrictions will be lifted. So this is how they are operating it, and hopefully this is going to be a success. Okay, काफ़ी अच्छा ये प्लान है, and we are also hopeful कि ये वाकई अपने रिजल्ट्स को अचीव करेगा. Okay, this is the point here. So we'll move next, आगे चलते हैं. So that's the point. Now there is another news related to the edible Kali Shahi. Okay, inedible Kali Shahi, that's the that is being developed by a family from last multiple generations. From last 250 years, this inedible Kali Shahi is being produced by them. Okay, so there are some, you can say, important things regarding that. So this Kali Shahi was used by rulers to issue फरमान्स. अपने फरमान इशू करने के लिए इसी काली शाही का इस्तेमाल होता था. At present as well it is in use. Okay, so basically this Kali Shahi and it is made of natural ingredients, and I am talking about the rulers who were there in Jaipur. They used to use it. Okay, so natural ingredients are used there. Black ink is prepared on a no moon light. No moon night means अमावस्या के दिन इसको बनाया जाता है with the chants of mantras. Okay, it is made of kajal, homemade mascara जिसको बोल सकते हैं आप, and there are herbal ingredients attached to that. And it is also said that this particular shahi, it does have medicinal properties. Okay, so this is how it is very useful, and the traditionally it was included in the traditional Ayurvedic system as well. उसके अंदर भी इसके ingredients जो हैं वो use होते थे. Okay, so this is the information that has been published in The Hindu today. So we'll move next. So this is the editorial on in The Hindu. Now the point is this, today The Hindu hasn't come up with much content when it comes to editorial. तो कुछ खास editorial नहीं है. There is this first editorial which is regarding the Brazilian democracy. Okay, so it is pointing towards one thing, as Bolsonaro lost the election. It is said that now there will be a shift in the Brazilian politics as right wing. Okay, so Bolsonaro was the right wing leader, and from that the focus has shifted to left center, because Mr. Lula da Silva, he is known to be a leader from left center. Okay, so this is how it's a major shift, and the point is this, this might further shift the polity, the system in South American politics as well. ये पूरी वहाँ पे भी पूरी South American politics को जो है impact करेगा. Okay, this is what it is. This is what it is. So this was a major point. Other than that, there is nothing much. कुछ खास नहीं है. You can read it on your own. आपके इंटरेस्ट के अकॉर्डिंग है ब्राज़ीलियन पॉलिटिक्स में क्या चल रहा है. ओके, आर्किटेक्चर द प्रोफेशन नीड स्ट्रेंथनिंग. सो द पॉइंट इज दिस, आर्किटेक्ट्स दे आर फेसिंग दिस ट्रबल. आर्किटेक्ट्स को ज़्यादा समस्या आ रही है यहाँ पे. ओके, समस्या इन द सेंस देयर इज कंपटीशन, इट्स अ प्रोफेशनल कंपटीशन दैट इज देयर. So this is what is being told, and it is not relevant for The Hindu. I just included it because today editorials were less. So they said that profession has not yet, okay, profession has not yet to be recognized in its own right. There are rivalries with engineers, the low professional fee structure is there, poor protection from the market forces, okay, and confusion about the roadmap, that what's the future of architecture. That's the point here. So they are not clear about it. चलिए आगे चलते हैं. So this editorial is there regarding situation that is there in Myanmar. Now you must be knowing it, there was a military coup in Myanmar. After that, military is curtailing the civil liberties in Myanmar, and the point is this, there is pressure on Myanmar's military to come out with the, to start the democracy, okay, to start the democratic process starting with election. But the point here is this, the way things are being resisted in Myanmar, because people are still pushing the military there, resilience is still going on there. Okay, so in that particular environment, it is not clear whether Myanmar, whether the army there is really interested in reviving the democracy or not. अभी इसको लेके कोई clarity नहीं है. Okay, so we have to wait and watch क्या इसका outcome रहता है. But right now, at present, there is no clarity regarding it. And in the near future as well, one cannot assure whether truly Burmese army will revive the process or not. अभी इसको लेके भी कोई clarity नहीं है कि वाकई ये जो है process start होगा. Okay, this is a major point. This is a major point. So let's move to other news. Okay, so they are saying that like nearly 2,300 people, they have been killed or imprisoned in Myanmar. Civil liberty have been absolutely curtailed. Okay, so there is a government in exile that was formed. Military को compete करने के लिए the political leaders there, they formed a government called National Unity Government. Okay, now this National Unity Government is still getting political and the financial support from abroad. That's why Burmese army is still not in a condition to completely wipe out this development. बिल्कुल भी वो इस condition में अभी नहीं है. Okay, this is the important point here. So like things, we can only hope that things should improve there. हम सिर्फ उम्मीद ही कर सकते हैं. Okay, uh, the stance of India is relatively silent. We are completely silent about it. We cannot outrightly criticize the Burmese army. The point is this: you have to be guided by your national interest. Okay, why I am saying national interest? Because China is still doing business with the Burmese army. They have no issues in working with them, and so do India. So here is a competition, because if you are criticizing the Burmese army, your opponent will take advantage of it. Okay, this is the major point. So what happened, like in 1980s as well, there was a military coup in Myanmar. जब 1980s में coup हुआ था, तब at that time India carried out criticism. वहाँ पे हमने ज़रूर criticism किया था. Okay, but today we are silent about it. So this is called a realistic policy. We are a bit realistic about. We know the reality is there. Okay, that at present your silence is really good for you. आपकी साइलेंस जो है वो आपके लिए बेनिफिट है, सो यू आर साइलेंट अबाउट इट. दिस इज द मेजर पॉइंट हियर. ओके, सो देर इज नो हार्म इन बीइंग साइलेंट, बिकॉज इफ यू आर वोकल अबाउट इट, योर ओपोनेंट्स विल डेफिनेटली टेक एडवांटेज ऑफ इट. आपके ओपोनेंट्स को जरूर इसमें एडवांटेज मिलेगा, तो आप वो चीज़ बिल्कुल भी नहीं चाहते. ओके, सो दिस इज हाउ थिंग्स आर. एंड वेस्टर्न countries, they were definitely putting pressure on us. West, US and the, you can say, other western countries, European countries, they were putting pressure on us that India is a neighbor, India is a democratic neighbor. Okay, so India should be more vocal about criticizing the developments in Myanmar. Now the point is this: we are guided by the realism. मोदी जी को realism पसंद है, reality यही है. आप ज़्यादा मुंह नहीं खोल सकते हो. Okay, because it's like a taking पंगा for them with them. Now I would like to again recall you, take you back to the time we carried out our first surgical strikes in Myanmar. Now you seriously think that those surgical strikes would have been possible without the support from Burmese army? Burmese army military के support के बिना क्या लगता है आपको आप वो surgical strike कर सकते थे? No, we coordinated in certain terms. Okay, so we have to keep this thing in our mind, and the northeast is still facing with insurgency. So in that environment we cannot, you can say, criticize the Burmese army, because you may be needing their support again. कोई आपको भी दोबारा करना पड़े सर्जिकल स्ट्राइक वगैरह, तो आपको उनके सपोर्ट की ज़रूरत है. दिस इज़ द पॉइंट हियर. एंड द पॉइंट दैट इज दिस, दैट दिस इज एब्सोल्युटली द यूनाइटेड नेशंस फेलियर, because UN has not been able to put any pressure on it. Now this Ukraine-Russia war is another example where UN appears to be a failure. This is also another example where UN appears to be a failure. They failed to put pressure on Burmese army to start the democratic process. And parallel to that, देखिए हर किसी के दोस्त मिल जाते हैं. Okay, so the military regime in Myanmar, they got support from Russians. रशिया से भी सपोर्ट मिल रहा है. देयर इज कोऑपरेशन दैट इज गोइंग ऑन. ओके, डिफेंस एंड एनर्जी सप्लाईज एंड ऑल, सब अच्छा चल रहा है. नो इश्यूज विद दैट. चाइना इज ऑल्सो लाइक कीपिंग इट्स डोर ओपन रिगार्डिंग द बिजनेस एक्टिविटी. दे आर डूइंग बिजनेस, वो बिजनेस कर रहे हैं, उनको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, चाहे आर्मी चलाए या फिर डेमोक्रेसी चलाए. ओके, बट दे आर इंसिस्टिंग दैट डेमोक्रेटिक प्रोसेस शुड स्टार्ट. सेम इज द केस विद इंडिया एज वेल. हम भी ऐसा ही बोल रहे हैं, हमें भी बिजनेस कर रहा है वहाँ पे. एज सिंपल एज दैट. नाउ ASEAN, if we talk about Association of Southeast Asian Nation, ASEAN is absolutely divided right now. So countries like Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, they said that democracy should be started. Thailand and Laos, they are saying that okay, we are fine with the military. And Vietnam and Philippines, they are, you can say, ambivalent कि भी ठीक है, कोई भी हो, हमें कोई लेना देना नहीं. This is what the scenario is right now. Okay, so India has really called for, we advocated that democracy should be restored. But you cannot give deadlines to them ना. हम उनको deadline थोड़ी ना दे सकते हैं. It is up to them, let them decide like whenever they want. That's the point. Okay, so this is what we had, and this was there in today's news regarding the uniform civil code. Okay, so first of all let me tell you a few things. Now what are the civil matters? अब ये civil मामले होते कौन से हैं? So civil matters are related to, say, property. Okay, say, you can say marriage, divorce. These are civil matters, like which are part of our life. Okay, now the point is this: in India the system is like that as we are diverse people, हम बहुत diverse हैं. Okay, so these are components of your personal laws. ये आपके personal laws का part है. The point is this: as we are diverse, different communities in this country, they are governed by different laws when it comes to personal matters, civil matters, property inheritance, divorce, marriage registration. There are different laws that are existing. Okay. Now, it has been demanded multiple times that as different communities in India are, you can say, governed by different laws, it impacts the unity of the country, and to facilitate unity, we need to move towards uniform civil code, that there should be a single code directing, governing all the community members in the country, कि सबको चलाने के लिए एक ही कोड यहाँ पे बनाया जाएगा. Okay. And it has been mentioned in your DPSP, Directive Principles of State Policy के अंदर ये चीज बकायदा mentioned है. Now again the debate has started, as Gujarat has also joined the list of BJP states which are saying that we will impose uniform civil code. अब वो लोग भी ये कह रहे हैं कि हम लोग uniform civil code को लगाएंगे. Okay, that's the point. Now you need to understand one thing here. It should not be a political tool to gain votes. If you seriously want to have discussion over uniform civil code, it should be carried out with sanity and with open debate. अगर आप इसको political debate बनाते हो, politically इसका use करना चाहते हो, then it's a wrong thing to do. Because here the point is this: why uniform code has not been implemented yet? अब तक क्यों नहीं implement हुआ? Because we failed to build consensus. Hindus, their marriage registration, they have a Hindu Marriage Act. So for Muslims there is a Sharia Act. For Christians there is a Christian Marriage Act. Okay. So this system is existing like this. The point is this: if we try to do something, आपने जबरदस्ती जाके uniform code impose किया without consulting different communities, then it will be portrayed as majoritarian ideas, okay, are being imposed on minority, कि minority के ऊपर majority के ideas impose किए जा रहे हैं. That will be the wrong thing here, because there is a wrong message that we are going to give. Now why I am saying this: while triple talaq judgment was made, there were lot of people who were going ahead and they were, you know, beating their chest कि हमने करके दिखा दिया. It's a wrong message. You have to take along minority with you. They should feel comfortable in your country. It is the responsibility of the majority to facilitate the conducive environment so that the minority community should have faith in the system. ये चीज जरूरी है. And if you carry out things arbitrarily, forcefully, without consulting them, then it is going to be a disaster, because it will further alienate the minorities and it will impact the social harmony of the country. वहाँ आपके country की social harmony impact होगी. This is what you need to understand here. Okay. Now there is another debate. एक और debate है. Today it is not discussed in the news, but I will tell you one thing. Does uniform civil code means having a single document? क्या इसका यह मतलब है कि हमें एक document चाहिए? Does it mean we need a single document? Certainly not. There are different provisions. Whatever different laws are there, say Sharia Act, say Hindu Marriage Act, say Christian Marriage Act. Now, if we amend these particular provisions and make these particular laws uniform, एक डॉक्यूमेंट डालने की बजाय अगर आप इन डॉक्यूमेंट्स को यूनिफॉर्म बना दो, उनके प्रोविजंस को यूनिफॉर्म बना दो बाय अमेंडिंग देम, इट विल आल्सो फैसिलिटेट यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड. वो भी यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड ही कहलाया जाएगा. दिस इज व्हाट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. ओके, सो वी हैव टू बी क्लियर अबाउट इट. व्हाट एग्जैक्टली डू वी वांट? वी आर नॉट सेइंग दैट हैव अ सिंगल डॉक्यूमेंट. इसकी तो किसी ने बात ही नहीं की ना कि एक ही डॉक्यूमेंट चाहिए. डॉक्यूमेंट अलग रख लो, क्या प्रॉब्लम है उसके अंदर. ओके, so this editorial is pointing towards these things. So Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he felt that UCC should be made voluntary. Okay, we cannot impose it on the people, and this is the reason why it has been placed under DPSP. यही कारण है कि इसको DPSP में डाला गया था, and it has not been placed under fundamental rights, because as if would have been placed under fundamental rights, then it would have been mandatory to implement it. तो इसका implementation compulsory हो जाता, okay? That would have been a problematic thing because here you have to create a conducive environment. Society में पहले debate तो हो जाए, उसके बाद सोचेंगे क्या करना है इसका, okay? This is the point here. Now this article, it proposed that state shall endeavor to secure UCC, which means it would not impose it on all citizens. DPSP में इसलिए डाला था कि जबरदस्ती imposition नहीं चाहते थे. He was of this view that let the future generations decide. Whenever there will be a conducive environment, society will debate, parliament will debate, and at that time we can talk about facilitating the uniform civil code. Reality तो यही है. तो मोदी गवर्नमेंट ने भी लॉ कमीशन को पूछा, okay? They also asked law commission that, okay, what are your suggestions regarding this particular uniform civil code? So law commission has categorically said that today at present the environment is not conducive to impose, to bring in uniform civil code. लॉ कमीशन ने बिल्कुल ये चीज बताई है कि अभी वो टाइम नहीं आया है. दैट्स द पॉइंट हियर. So before moving to that, there are some facts that you should know. So article 44 contained in part 4 of the constitution, it states that state shall endeavor to secure for all citizens a uniform civil code throughout the territory of India, okay? There is no draft or model document that is available. They want to have uniformity in the personal laws. Personal laws are primarily regarding matters like marriage, divorce, adoption, inheritance, okay? This is the present system right now, and they are part of DPSP. ये directive principles में डाला है because DPSPs are not enforceable or justiciable in the court of law. That's the point here. अगर आप fundamental right में इसे डालते तो आपको ये impose कराना पड़ता, enforce कराना पड़ता और court में cases भी होते. So to avoid that situation, it was placed under DPSP. Now there is another thing that we have to understand here. What's the best way to carry forward with the uniform civil code? See, you need to have consent of a particular community. That's the most important part. And how will the consent be facilitated? It will be facilitated with the constructive debate that should be carried out in the country. It should not be a debate where one political leader is saying multiple things and then using this as a tool to claim votes कि हाँ जी हमने करके दिखा दिया अब हमें वोट दे दो. ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए ना, otherwise it will means that someone is imposing the majoritarian ideas. Those things should be avoided at every cost. This is the point here, okay? Now K.M. Munshi, like he was of view that he rejected the notion that UCC will be against the freedom of religion. No, there is nothing like that. There is nothing like that. Having a uniform civil code regarding it will facilitate secularism. बिल्कुल वो secularism को facilitate करेगा. Okay, that's the important point. It will facilitate secularism. We cannot undermine this. Other point is this. There is a fundamental problem right now. देखिए, these are practical problems that are there. ये कोई अपने ideas impose करने वाली बात नहीं, ये practical problem है. At present, what's the equation? This uniformity, the idea of uniformity, bringing the uniform civil code, this has been placed under entry 5 of concurrent list. It means that union can make the law as well as the states can also make the law. दोनों कानून बना सकते हैं इसके अंदर. Okay. Now the point is this: different states, they have their own amendments in these provisions. सब states के अंदर कुछ ना कुछ amendment इन्होंने कर रखे हैं, तो बहुत ज़्यादा differences हैं. Okay. That's the point here, that like we do have a plurality in that, okay, and in that arrangement, in that diverse arrangement, how can you think about one nation one law? And implementation will be difficult because at present different states are having different arrangements. सबके arrangements different है यहाँ पे, तो आप उसको implement कैसे करोगे? This is the practical problem. Okay. Yes, I do agree. If you bring into the pros and cons of UCC, तो अगर हम pros की बात करें तो definitely like there are a lot of pros in that. बहुत फायदे हैं इसके. One thing is this: it is in line with the value of secularism. बिल्कुल secularism की line में है. Another point is this: it will facilitate. You can say the religion will not be used as an electoral tool. This is what will be facilitated. Because एक बार UCC आ गया, उसके बाद आप communal tension बढ़ा के वो नहीं कर सकते. Again and again this issue will be settled. It will not be a political debate again. एक बार ये लग गया, उसके बाद ये चीज सेटल हो जाएगी इलेक्शंस में, because multiple times politicians again invoke these particular issues. That will be the settled thing, and this is what we want. Okay, so it will facilitate, you can say it will stop the use of communal hatred and other things in elections. That will be the point here. वो चीज यहाँ पे एक तरीके से रुकेगी. And other point is this, it will facilitate judiciary as well, because at present judiciary has to study different laws. अभी तो judiciary को अलग अलग कानून समझने पड़ते हैं. Judiciary को शरिया भी समझना पड़ेगा, हिंदू मैरिज एक्ट भी समझना पड़ेगा, स्पेशल मैरिज एक्ट भी समझना पड़ेगा, क्रिश्चियन मैरिज एक्ट भी समझना पड़ेगा, इनहेरिटेंस की लॉज भी समझने पड़ेंगे. डिफरेंट है वो बिल्कुल. Here judiciary will be required to just have a understanding about a simple uniform civil code, as simple as that. So it will facilitate judiciary and it will further improve the judicial judgments. Speedy judgments will be there because your judges will become experts. Judges जो हैं वो experts बन जाएंगे. That's the time here. This is how it is very effective. Now there are cons as well. Cons in the sense that it will facilitate uniformity. एक यूनिफॉर्मिटी लेके आ रहा है. यूनिफॉर्मिटी डेफिनेटली इट हैम्पर्स द डाइवर्सिटी. आपकी डाइवर्सिटी को थोड़ा बहुत तो इंपैक्ट पड़ेगा. वी हैव सेकुलरिज्म इन द कंट्री. सेकुलरिज्म मीन्स दैट डिफरेंट कम्युनिटीज दे आर हैविंग दिस राइट टू ऑपरेट द वे दे वांट. Here you are imposing one idea, and the way electoral politics is done in this country, it will send a wrong message, as minority community may fear that majority ideas are being imposed on them. उनको ये लगेगा कि ये majority की सरकार है, हिंदुओं की सरकार है, and majority ideas are imposed. That is not right here. So you do have to address their concerns, and that will be done by facilitating debate and discussion. उसके लिए कंट्री में डिबेट डिस्कशन होना चाहिए. ओके, एंड वी डू हैव अ वर्किंग अरेंजमेंट ऑफ गोवा. गोवा हैज यूनिफॉर्म सिविल कोड, एंड दिस कोड वाज इंट्रोड्यूस्ड बाय पोर्चुगीज इन दिस कंट्री. ओके, सो पोर्चुगीज ने गोवा में लगाया था. गोवा वाज अ कॉलोनी ऑफ पोर्चुगीज एंड दे हैड दिस अरेंजमेंट. बट इवन इन द गोवा सिविल कोड एज वेल, लॉट ऑफ कंसेशन इज गिवन टू डिफरेंट कम्युनिटीज. वहां पे भी अलग अलग कम्युनिटीज को थोड़ी बहुत कंसेशन दे रखी है इन्होंने. ओके, दिस इज व्हाट यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड. Like Catholics, they do have certain concession. ठीक है ना. Hindus, they do have certain concession. Muslims also have certain concessions. This is how it is. थोड़ी बहुत तो छूट आपको देनी पड़ेगी to allow them to work, to function the way they want. Okay, this is what is being said here. Now, Supreme Court has said it multiple times. They have this desire that in India we should have uniform civil code, and it was primarily raised during the Shah Bano judgment, the famous Shah Bano judgment, triple talaq judgment. Okay, बिल्कुल एक कोर्ट की तरफ से भी आया है कि we need to have this type of arrangement, and Modi government again requested the law commission to suggest भाई करना चाहिए कि नहीं करना चाहिए. Okay, बताओ क्या solution है, because at present there are thousands of personal laws. एक थोड़ी ना है, बहुत सारे personal laws and different states have different arrangements regarding it. So law commission से पूछा गया कि what should be done. Now law commission came out with the report. Law commission in its report primarily said that neither necessary nor desirable at this stage. Okay, law commission is a body of experts, legal experts हैं उसमें. They have come out with this, that at present this is not the conducive time to go ahead with this. But commission also suggested that certain measures should be taken to bring in uniformity. अगर आप करना भी चाहते हो तो थोड़े बहुत लेके आओ. Bring uniformity, say in marriage registration, in divorce matters. Okay, उतना कर सकते हैं. And they said that you can at present fix the marriageable age of boys and girls, because right now there also things are divided. Bring those particular arrangements. They said that fix the marriageable age for boys and girls for all of India. Other than that, you can have arrangements like making adultery a ground for divorce for men and women across the communities, and further simplifying the divorce procedures. सब के अंदर divorce procedure और वो सब simplify करो. This is the way out. Step by step you should move ahead. Bring एकदम से झटका नहीं देना है. Step by step. because here if we are fixing age, people might not be having any problem with that. Here if things are facilitated to tackle adultery, like how adultery is to be treated, divorce के case में क्या means, how if adultery will be a ground for divorce or not, that's the point. Simplifying the divorce procedure. India के अंदर divorce लेना भी आसान नहीं है, okay, lot of complexity is there. So improve these particular things and this is what has been suggested. So ये primarily इनका suggestion है कि करना चाहिए हमें, okay, that's the point here. So we'll move to the next part. Bring back the old pension scheme, okay. So again letters have been written to कैबिनेट सेक्रेटरी साहब को लेटर लिखे जा रहे हैं कि आप जो है ओल्ड पेंशन स्कीम वापस लेके आइए, ओके. सो लेट मी गिव यू वन मोर, यू कैन से इंफॉर्मेशन रिगार्डिंग दिस. नोट इट डाउन बिकॉज दिस वाज देयर इन योर प्रीलिम्स एग्जाम. प्रीलिम्स 2016 देयर वाज अ क्वेश्चन रिगार्डिंग सिविल सर्विसेज बोर्ड, ओके. there is a board called civil service board. this is an advisory unit, सिर्फ एडवाइस देता है, ठीक है, बाइंडिंग नहीं है. दिस सिविल सर्विस बोर्ड इज हेडेड बाय कैबिनेट सेक्रेटरी एंड दिस क्वेश्चन वाज मेंशन्ड इन द प्रीलिम्स. ये प्रीलिम्स में आया था, सो यू नीड टू नोट इट डाउन. एज कैबिनेट सेक्रेटरी की बात आ गई है तो ये अब आपको नोट डाउन करना है, ओके. सो विल टेक अप दिस पर्टिकुलर न्यूज, देखते हैं इसमें क्या इन्होंने बोला है, क्या कह रहे हैं ये. So they are basically saying that please give us old pension scheme though, because the new pension scheme is bogus, is not that effective. They are saying that the pension that we are getting under new pension scheme is just 15% of that they were getting earlier. अगर old pension scheme लगती तो उसका 15% इनके पास पैसा आ रहा है. So this is what they are saying, okay. So they are seriously concerned about it and definitely they are writing to the cabinet secretary, but वो भी क्या कर सकते हैं इसके अंदर, okay. So they are saying that as per the new pension scheme, like they are asked to contribute 10% of their wage every month for the entire service and getting only like very small amount as pension. बहुत ही छोटी पेंशन मिल रही है, okay. And other problem is this, that this pension under NPS it remains static. There is no dearness relief to compensate the प्राइस राइज और इन्फ्लेशन प्राइस राइज वगैरह के लिए कोई छुटकारा नहीं है. दैट्स द पॉइंट हियर. सो दिस इज व्हाट हैज बीन आस्क्ड, ओके. सो देयर वाज अनदर न्यूज रिगार्डिंग कैमरा ट्रैप्स रिन्यू होप्स फॉर स्नो लेपर्ड इन कश्मीर, ओके. सो कश्मीर के अंदर स्नो लेपर्ड दोबारा देखा गया, अच्छी चीज़ है ये, बिल्कुल, ओके. इट मीन्स like the effort that we are putting in is still coming out with the result. Now IUCN of the snow leopard, if you look into it, is vulnerable, okay. IUCN vulnerable है, and please do correct me if I am wrong. Vulnerable इनका IUCN status है, okay. So this is how it is, and primarily snow leopard is not just confined to Jammu and Kashmir, हिमाचल प्रदेश, उत्तराखंड, वहाँ पे भी मिलते हैं, and specifically in the north eastern part as well, दो snow leopard मिल जाते हैं, specifically at the greater heights, okay. So this is what it is. काफ़ी शर्मीला जानवर है, सामने नहीं आता है, छुप के रहना पसंद करता है, ओके. दीज आर द पेक्यूलियर फीचर्स ऑफ स्नो लेपर्ड्स. तो आगे चलते हैं हम, ओके. सो दिस इज़ व्हाट वी हैड हेयर. नाउ आई विल पिक अप द ब्रिंग द न्यूज़पेपर, पूरा अखबार लेके आते हैं आपके लिए, क्या खास है. चलिए, हेयर देयर इज़ नथिंग मच, कुछ खास नहीं. हाँ जी, सुप्रीम कोर्ट टू प्रोनाउंस EWS कोटा वर्डिक्ट टुडे, ओके. सो प्लीज़ डू कीप अ वॉच. डेफिनेटली लाइक व्हाट विल बी द आउटकम ऑफ दैट वर्डिक्ट, वी विल बी डिस्कसिंग इट टुमारो. कल तो ये डिस्कस होगा ही होगा, ओके. सो अखबार में आने दीजिए एक बार, उसके बाद हम इसको डिस्कस करेंगे. अदर देन दैट हेयर सब पॉलिटिकल चल रहा है, कुछ खास नहीं, ओके. सो एमिड टाइट सिक्योरिटी RSS टॉक टेक्स आउट रूट मार्चेज इन तमिलनाडु टाइम्स, ओके. सब चलता रहता है, दिस इज द पॉइंट. एंड ओके, सो हेयर लाइक यू नो डिस्टिंक्टिव बी हाइव शेप्ड हट बनाई गई है. जारवा ट्राइब, okay, and the Shompen tribe, they are primarily associated with this, and this is basically a Nicobarese hut that was made, okay. So it is important that this type of art form also is protected. भाई इस type की art form भी हमें protect करनी है, and Anthropological Survey of India has recreated these huts, okay. So it is really important that the present generation of these tribes, they should remain in touch with their culture. then only you will be able to preserve the culture, then only you will be able to preserve the diversity in the country. सभी एक जैसे हो जाएंगे, सबकी प्रैक्टिसेस एक जैसी हो जाएंगी, तो that diversity will be, you can say, impacted. Okay, so that's why you need to put up an effort that this particular wealth, this is the cultural wealth of the country, that needs to be protected. And it's a really good thing that Anthropological Survey of India is, you can say, constructing these traditional huts in Nicobar. Okay, this is what you should know. So this is what we have done, ये कर लिया है हमने. Okay, like there is nothing much. So here we have 19 killed as plane crashes into Tanzania lake. Okay, so Victoria Lake के अंदर the plane crash हुआ है, which is located in Tanzania. And other than that, there is nothing much. COP27 puts climate compensation agenda for the first time. The point is this: they are talking about discussing this particular arrangement, but they are still not, you can say, confident whether this will, you can say, conclude anything or not. इस चीज को लेके कोई एश्योरिटी नहीं है कि वाकई कोई कंक्लूजन आएगा. ओके, बट डेफिनेटली इट्स अ गुड थिंग, एटलीस्ट दे आर नाउ सीरियस अबाउट थिंग. अदरवाइज इन द पास्ट, like the way things are going on, Ukraine Russia crisis और ये सब जो चल रहा है, it appeared that the world is not, you can say, serious about climate change issue. तो पूरी दुनिया का ध्यान कहीं ना कहीं climate change से हट गया था, and this is what we don't want at present. Okay, so this type of thing should, you can say, we need to be very serious about the compensation, specifically the developed nation, because if they will be coming out with the climate finances, then only we can carry out some relief work in the developing world. तभी आप टेक्नोलॉजी भी इंट्रोड्यूस कर पाओगे, तभी आप बाकी आइडियाज कर पाओगे. ओके, अदरवाइज दिस फाइट इज गोइंग टू बी वेरी डिफिकल्ट. बट डेवलप्ड वर्ल्ड प्राइमरीली इज सेइंग दैट उनके हाथ बंधे हुए हैं. हाथ क्यों बंधे हुए हैं जी? हाथ इसलिए बंधे हुए हैं बिकॉज लाइक दिस यूक्रेन रशिया क्राइसिस इज गोइंग ऑन. At present the global slowdown is there, so as global slowdown is there, वो कुछ कर नहीं सकते. Okay, this is what the scenario that they are explaining. So that's it for the day then. Thank you very much.